Hello, I'm Heather.
And I'm Ryan.
And we are the Boxcard Gamers.
We play box card games.
In every episode. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome. If you're a regular listener, you may have noticed a couple of changes to the podcast. You may be wondering about that, and you may be wondering if more changes are coming, so stay tuned to the very end of the episode for announcements regarding all of that. But for now, this is round 4 of Same, but Different. Real quick before we start, if this is not your first episode of Same, but Different, and you don't want to hear the instructions again, skip ahead about 1.5 minutes to the start of the game. Here's how it works. We have 2 sets of cards, a blue set and a red set. On each of the blue cards is a scenario in which you might say something. And on each of the red cards is another scenario that might be a little more risque. For example, on a blue card, we might have something you can say while buying a car. On a red card, we might have and while hooking up with a stranger. Ryan and I, prior to recording and independently of each other, will come up with as many answers as we can to the combined scenarios. For example, using our cards above, something you can say while buying a car and while hooking up with a stranger, we might come up with the response,
Does this come with Loop for Life?
Or, I get a discount, right? We will compare notes and see who has come up with the highest number of unique responses, with 1 point awarded for each unique response, meaning the other person didn't also think of it. Whoever comes up with the highest number of unique responses earns the highest number of points and wins the ever-coveted Gloating Rights trophy.
Until we play again.
Again, the game we're playing is called Same, but Different. It was created by What Do You Meme and is available to purchase at whatdoyoumeme.com. Link in the show notes. They are not a sponsor. And finally, it should be noted that for podcast purposes, we are playing a modified version of the original game. The current running score is Ryan, 48, Heather, 53. Ryan, are you ready to compare notes? You're not ready. I know you're not. No, I'm not.
I'm not ready.
Excellent. Let's begin. On the blue card, something you can say to a firefighter putting out a fire. On the red card, and while hungover. That's something you can say to a firefighter putting out a fire and while hungover. What you got, bro?
Make it stop.
Good one. That was a good one.
This hurts so much.
Excellent.
Well, this is going better than expected. I need more water.
Yes. Oh, good one. That's a good one. I like that one.
That's all I got.
Hey, that ain't half bad. That's 4. All right, here's what I got.
I just set the bar real high, Heather.
Something you can say to a firefighter putting out a fire and while hungover. I don't remember turning the oven on. My head is about to explode.
Okay.
Could you keep it down, please? I'm going to puke. What did I do last night? The light is blinding. And finally, my heart is pounding.
Very well done, Heather. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Ryan. Are you ready to go on to the second set of cards?
Yes.
I don't think you really are. You'll spoiler alert, you'll see what happens. That wasn't a spoiler alert. You're going to see what happens. Here we go. On the blue card, something you can say during a wine tasting. On the red card, and when friend zoning someone. That's something you can say during a wine tasting and when friend zoning someone. Ryan?
I've had better.
Okay.
I'm just not into that.
Good.
This is a little bitter.
Darn, I have a bitter one. Please don't be bitter. That's my one.
What?
I have a bitter joke as well.
Oh, please don't be bitter. Gotcha.
Please don't be bitter. Yeah.
That's all I got.
Okay. Killing it with two. So to remind everybody, something you can say during a wine tasting and when friend zoning someone. Past experience has left a bad taste in my mouth. I'm just a snob.
Good one.
I need space and oxygen. You don't smell good. By the way, just because this list of mine is so long, I'm going to insert a reminder. We're talking about something you can say during a wine tasting and when
Jesus
friend
Christ.
zoning someone. You're too young for me.
Good one.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking for something light, not heavy, as in not a deep, meaningful relationship.
Good one, Heather.
Thanks, Ryan. I'll only suck you in and spit you back out again.
Goddamn.
You're too sweet and I like dry. I just don't want you all over my tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Just a quick reminder, something you can say during a wine tasting and when friend zoning someone. I don't like you. You're my best friend. I've had enough of this.
Me too.
And finally, I just want something chill.
Very nice.
Thank you. I think that's 13 all told right there.
Jesus Christ.
I brought my A game, man. You challenged me last week, and I was like, I cannot let this motherfucker win. All right, let's go on to our third set of cards. Something you can say under your breath during an argument, that's the blue card. On the red card, and to your dog who just got neutered, that's something you can say under your breath during an argument, and to your dog who just got neutered. Ryan?
Take that, you little shit.
Love it.
Not really a man, are ya?
Oh,
Small pee-pee energy.
nice.
That's all I got.
All
Hit
right,
me with your
3.
13, Heather.
You know what, Ryan? That was only 3,
Yes.
but it was a damn powerful 3 it was.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. All right. We'll go on to my answers to remind everybody something you can say under your breath during an argument and to your dog who just got neutered. Not sorry. You ballless bastard. Go chase your tail. Good luck getting the ladies now. God, you're still annoying. I'll just insert a quick reminder as to the question we're answering.
Oh.
It's something you can say under your breath during an argument and to your dog who just got neutered. I wait on you hand and foot. Yap, yap, yap. Mr. feels sorry for himself. Stop looking at me like that.
Me?
No, that's one of my answers.
Oh. You made direct eye contact with me and you pointed your finger like you were actually talking to me. And I was like, how am I looking at you?
No, I was just acting it out without realizing how that would come across. Sorry.
Good job, Heather.
And last but not least, something you can say under your breath during an argument and to your dog who just got neutered. Go lick yourself. That's 10 for me.
Done.
Thank you. Okay, on to the fourth set of cards. Something you can say at your high school reunion and while having phone sex. Sorry, that's the blue card, red card. You get it. Something you can say at your high school reunion and while having phone sex. Ryan?
Wow, haven't talked to you in a while.
Nice.
What's your number?
Good one. Even though you called the number and you probably already know it, it's fine. Continue.
Hey, maybe he wants to get her personal number.
Okay. Good one. Good one. Mm-hmm.
That's all I got.
You know what? Once again, those are great answers. 2 great answers.
You make me feel so good about how terrible I'm doing. Thank you, Heather.
You're welcome. All right. So something you can say at your high school reunion and while having phone sex. It's been real hard. I'm in oral care. It's dirty work, but somebody has to do it.
I didn't even think of... Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I didn't even think of the other end of that conversation. I was thinking from the perspective of the person calling in. Damn it, Heather. Anyway, continue.
Oh, I will. Because I've got more. By the way, the question is, something you can say at your high school reunion and while having phone sex. I can give you a freebie. Just call me most likely to succeed. It's my 10th anniversary today. Tell me how you make more money than me. You have to say it in a sexy voice. Tell me how you make more money than me. Something you can say at your high school reunion and while having phone sex. This is awkward. Get ready to be impressed. I could really go for some of those weenies. Bottoms up. And finally, what's up with you?
Good one. Wow. Thank you. The most obvious answer. How dare you?
Hey, you know what? Sometimes you get me with those obvious ones, and it hurts. It hurts right here in my heart. All right, here we go. Final round. On the blue card, something you can say in an ambulance. On the red card, and when you miss your period. That's something you can say in an ambulance and when you miss your period. Ryan?
Oh, no!
Perfect.
I thought there'd be a lot more blood.
Good one.
I'm pregnant.
Yeah, I got that one too.
That's all I got, Hev.
Ryan, you are killing it with the good answers in this one. You're killing it.
Thank you.
All right, now to remind everybody, the question is something you can say in an ambulance and when you miss your period. Fuck. This is going to be so expensive. My husband is not going to like this. I mean, the medical bill after the ambulance. He might appreciate the ambulance taking me somewhere if I needed it.
Sure.
But not the medical bill.
Nobody likes the medical bill.
Nobody does.
Did I tell you? Oh, I got to tell you. Let's finish this and then I'll tell you. Go ahead.
Are you sure? We finished. Okay, so reminder, something you can say in an ambulance and when you miss your period. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. This was unexpected. Did you have that answer? The unexpected?
No.
Excellent. Also, I think I have elevated blood pressure. I'm trying to find the silver lining.
Good one.
Am I dying? Something you can say in an ambulance and when you miss your period. Am I supposed to be seeing dark spots? And finally, this is so cool. Because, maybe you're happy about the pregnancy. Or,
you know what? Maybe you're doing a ride along in the ambulance.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
That's a good one, Heather.
Thank you.
Well done.
I had to end it on an up note because it was getting depressing. Okay. What were you going to say?
Medical bills, Heather.
Uh-huh.
A few weeks ago, Rebecca tore her meniscus.
Yes.
I told you about that.
Yes, you did. Did you tell me on the podcast? It doesn't matter. Continue.
So we have Kaiser coverage.
Hey, real quick, I'm sorry. What is a meniscus?
It's a tendon in the knee.
Okay.
So
right.
If it's a vertical tear, it requires surgery. If it's a horizontal tear, it doesn't.
Okay.
So we don't know what kind of tear it is, but I'm guessing it's going to be a horizontal tear because at this point she's like getting better.
Okay.
So anyway, we usually go to urgent care through our actual provider, right?
Okay.
But it was late, so our provider wasn't open. So we went to another hospital that accepts our provider. We go in there. She gets her blood pressure taken. We wait a half hour. She gets triaged. 2-minute conversation. Guy says, well, we'll get you some Tylenol and some ibuprofen and get you an x-ray. Doesn't give her the Tylenol or ibuprofen. We go back out. We wait for 4 hours.
Which one?
Oh. Jesus Christ,
That
Siri.
was creepy.
Holy fuck.
Siri's just like, I'll interject myself into this conversation.
I thought Rebecca snuck up on me.
By the way, since I can see the door behind you, I would 100% not reveal if she was sneaking up on you.
So we wait 4 hours, and by this time it's like 10 o'clock, and Rebecca's like, it's late. You got to go to work. Let's just go home, and I'll go to urgent care tomorrow because it was her day off the following day. So I'm like, cool, I'm down. So we leave, we check out, and the guy's like, oh, we just need you to sign this form that says you didn't get any treatment. So she signs the form, and off we go. 2 weeks later, we get a bill in the mail for $380. And that was after our insurance paid out. For literally nothing. They didn't do anything. No treatment, just a 2-minute conversation with the triage nurse. And then we got another bill, a third-party bill for $87 for I don't know what, but again, for nothing.
That sucks.
It do.
It really sucks.
And we're going to fight it. Damn,
fight it all the way. Take it to the Supreme Court if you have to.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Ryan, by the way, I forgot to mention that for this round, you scored 13 points.
Nice.
I scored 53
36.
points.
Oh, did you? God damn
53 points, bringing my total running score to 106 and yours to 61. Gloaty gloat gloat. I'm gloating. Can you see me gloating? I'm holding up my imaginary gloating rights trophy.
Heather, I'm very proud of you. Well done.
Thank you, Ryan.
Virtual hug.
Virtual hug. I'm doing the motion. Do the motion. Nobody can see it. Here we go. Okay, so this brings us to where I tell everybody about our changes. You will have noticed by now that the name of the podcast has changed, that the logo has changed, and I'll let you in on a little trade secret. You're supposed to name your podcast so that anybody can read the title and know exactly what your podcast is. And I'm kind of telling the short story here, but I had this epiphany that the Politics Free podcast, it doesn't tell anybody what the podcast is. It just tells you what it isn't. So like when I was talking to Ryan about this, I gave the example like, Ryan, if I said to you, what's your podcast about? And you said, well, it's not about dogs. That would give me virtually no information. Like I would be unlikely to listen to your podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought, well, since what we do is play boxcard games, why don't we just call the podcast Boxcard Gamers? That seems to explain right there what it is. So we're moving to that. Also, I should mention, just because we're dropping the name Politics Free doesn't mean we're going to start talking politics. We're going to stay with our initial idea and not have political discussions on the podcast. So if you're worried about that
or
changing,
talk about any hot topics.
Exactly. We're keeping that as a theme of the podcast. And one of the last changes we're going to do, since we're becoming box card gamers, is we're just going to concentrate on playing the game in the episode. I'm not going to bring the Reddit stories. Now, unless I hear from a torrent of people how they want the Reddit stories back, we're just going to stick with the game. We do still want your stories. So for sure, send us your stories that get inspired by the game. And if I get them from listeners, I will definitely share them on the podcast. The way to do that is to email us. For now, the email is thepoliticsfreepodcast@outlook.com. As soon as that changes, I will let you know. But really, that email isn't going anywhere. It'll still be usable, and I still check it. So there's that. And since we're doing a bunch of announcements, I have one more. And Ryan, I didn't even tell you about this one in advance.
You're pregnant.
That is not the announcement. And based on all of my answers to that question in this podcast, I think everyone would be like, uh-oh, this is bad news for her. I want to take a moment to let you know that if you listen to us using the Fountain app, you can support the podcast without it costing you anything. And that is because when you sign up on the Fountain app, it sets you up with a Bitcoin Lightning wallet, which you can but do not have to connect to your bank account. So if you don't feel comfortable with that, absolutely not a requirement. But then when you use the Fountain app to listen to the podcast or any podcast you like, if they're set up for it, you will earn small units of Bitcoin called Satoshis. And right now, the current USD value of a Satoshi is less than 1,000th of a penny. So it's not a huge amount. But you can then turn around and boost those Satoshis, which you've earned, back to the podcast. And you can send a little message along with it. And that is called a boostagram. And if you do that, I will read the boostagram on the show, unless you ask me not to. Or if you want to use this app to support the podcast without having to think about it or do any extraneous motions, simply go into the app settings and turn on the option to stream Satoshis as you're listening. So you'll just listen and it'll stream a small amount of Satoshis as you're listening. That is another way. I personally use the Fountain app to support the podcasts I listen to, and I really, really like it. They are not a sponsor. I just thought that was a really great way to potentially set up an option to support the podcast if you would like to. We, of course, would greatly appreciate it if you would. And in the show notes of this episode is a link to the Fountain app, so you can check that out if you are interested. And I think that is all of the million announcements. Ryan, did you have any announcements?
I am pregnant.
Good thing we saved that for last. Congratulations. Congratulations. All right. I think we'll just end with, please send us your game recommendations. Want that too. Again, thepoliticsfreepodcast@outlook.com until further notice. And as always, tell one person about the podcast this week. We'd love it. And I'll ask for this just because I never do. If your podcast app that you use lets you rate and or review the podcast, please rate and review it. We'd love to see some of those coming in as well.
That would be super dope.
And with that, we wish you the most incredibly stupendous, wonderful, awesome week.
Until we play again.